Hey, how are you doing today? In the last 10 minutes of this video, I need to talk a bit. Perhaps you have already watched the detailed analysis, or maybe you simply didn't feel like watching it at all. But please do come and check out the very last 10 minutes so that we can have a good chat for a little while. Let me tell you just a little bit more about my current situation. Let's go. First, let's check out the chart together. Today, I'll do an adjustment for both the top 10 and for Bitcoin. I'll also do a long-term adjustment for Bitcoin, like what scenarios we might have over the next 3 weeks. Not predictions, but what scenarios we could have that would make things easier. Life is a bit like that, okay? All right, let's get to the chart. The first website is up, and the new CT is in the testing phase, guys. This website isn't fully finished yet. Right now, if you try to access new ctrppro.io, it can't handle the traffic load. So that's what's happening and what comes next. This is the first test environment for us, so we can test our server and check its security. And if you know how to hack, come and try it. Let us know. For now, we haven't set any rewards, but we'll figure something out together. If you manage to hack it, let us know. Look, I was here, right in the middle of the server. Anyway, just wanted to let you know, guys. In the rest of the video, I'll talk to you about a lot of things. I noticed this after this KYRRDD. You're watching DeFi and you have some questions. I'll explain them to you in the rest of the video. How long have we been in this? I think it's not even been a week. Let me check from here so I can see. Let me bring up my Ethereum. From here, it's been 2 days. Really, 2 or 3 days. In 2 or 3 days, this person has made almost 2% profit. So that's almost 1% a day, maybe a little less. Well, okay. We'll talk about this DeFi space. But first, let's go through our usual routine. We'll talk about it in more detail later. But yesterday, you talked about this place. By now, three things should have happened. Your position should be open, you should have taken profit, and you should have gone risk-free, or at least set your risk-free at the entry point. So three things should have happened. That means your position should be open, you should have secured some profit, and you should have protected yourself from losses. So, based on what I said, this is where you should close everything. This is the point where we're supposed to close out. Okay, so did you take your profit properly? Did you go risk-free? If you didn't open this position, sit down for a moment and think about why you didn't open it. I mean, when you hesitated there, this setup could have easily given you a risk to reward of 4 or 5 to 1. If we had opened the position here too, it could have easily gone all the way up to here, like 10 times. Even that sixth one up to here would have given you a risk to reward of 4 to 1 as well. Why didn't we open this one? We haven't exactly talked little about you. All right, so that's that. This fake out down here is actually good. Yeah, really good. Not just good, it's really good. Why? Because this leg was supposed to be a continuation of this wave. It was supposed to continue this wave, right? It was supposed to come after. It should activate if we're moving downward, since our big wave in the high time frame cycle was bearish, and in this area, the continuation was supposed to start. Up to this point, we thought this area showed that buyers have strength. It shows that, for now, sellers don't have much power anymore. It shows that people see every downward move as a buying opportunity at the moment. But this isn't the only place where you see this. Look, we confirmed it here. They see every downward move as a buying opportunity. We see it. Every downward move is seen as a buying opportunity. Every dip is seen as a chance to buy. There are impulsive buys, sudden buys, like, okay, let me just buy a little here. Let me scoop up some while the price is down. For now, that's the situation, and here we have a box. When we fake out the bottom of the box, the chances of reaching the top of the box increase. So today, at the moment, we'll be looking for long positions. We're not looking for short positions for now. I'll tell you what we'll do at the end of the lesson, but for now, we're not looking for shorts. Guys, I've set up the daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes. I'll do the analysis for you later. Well, on the daily chart, if this candle closes here, that's all it is. The two candles we're not considering are ignored, and the price has come up to here. Now, let's see what happens next. On the 4-hour chart, this level of hours is being considered, which is really good. For now, these two aren't giving us any data. They haven't reached the market yet. Anyway, these two are always a bit behind the actual candles. No matter what you do, they're still a little behind. Okay, so it's come up to here now. Where should we go? Should we buy? Where should we go? Should we open a long position? If we want to move the risk, if we want to Open a short position again. We're not waiting for the break of 18,126. We're opening a short position before this level is broken. Here, I moved the risk up and said, look, if we wait here, there's a good chance a whale will pass by and take out our position. So we're forced to open it earlier so that the stop is smaller and we can manage it. When it comes here, it might get stuck or fake out or whatever happens. At least we've locked in some profit. If the position goes in 1 hour, the 9,468 break triggers. It's a really good entry for a long, but I'm not opening this entry on Bitcoin. Some altcoins are right now testing their resistance breakouts, like Sol, for example. Sol at 136. We'll open its position if it gives a stop, and if it stops out, then, for example, it was like this. You'd have to set a 4% stop all the way down here. I'm not opening it, even though it's likely I'll miss out on Sol. I'll go for a coin that's already given this trigger an entry. Or, for example, in the 15-minute chart, if it gives me a setup candle here at the breakout, or it comes down. What if it fakes out here, comes back, plays around, and then tries to break out again? So I'm waiting for something like that. If the stop size gets too big, though, if we see an increase in volume, right now we don't really have much of a volume increase, but if I do see an increase in volume, for these coins at the breakout moment, the stop I set is right here on the 15-minute chart. We open this for the first position, but that doesn't mean you should just think, okay, this is my last position, forget about it. No, the stop size is big. You won't get a good risk reward, and you might not get a risk reward at all. That's exactly why, if after this point you get another entry trigger here, with momentum, with a breakout, with a break of structure, with an RSI overbought signal, or when it reaches, for example, if my positive divergence hits the overextended level, and at the moment of its breakout, any of these signals appear from here, it would give you an entry trigger, so you take another entry trigger to be able to move your stop loss higher and make it smaller. You reduce your stop loss size so you can get a better risk to reward ratio. Okay? All right. Let's go down to a slightly lower time frame. I explain these so that, for example, on the 15-minute chart, if you see a big candle, a really big one coming up, let's see what it does with this 9,470 level. A break of 9,470 is a long position, okay? If this level breaks, it gives us a long position. So don't hesitate, don't be afraid to open it. Lately, we've been seeing this trend change together quite a lot. We've practiced this, changing our perspective quickly when it fakes out. We've worked on catching that together. It's actually one of the setups we've been looking for in our Telegram group. We want to see it fake out somewhere and then be able to quickly change our view. Should we change our position to the opposite when it fakes out? Okay? Right now, it's the same thing. Let's say it didn't even come near this 94, 86, 86 level. It got rejected in the middle and started ranging. When it started ranging, the game went back to how it was before. When it ranges again, there's a line at the bottom and a line at the top. If it breaks the top, that's a long. If it breaks the bottom, that's a short. It's that simple, right? Don't make it complicated, don't overthink it, there's nothing to it. Keep your stop loss small, take your profit quickly. Now, maybe for example, it comes and reacts to this, say, 82.275 level, makes a lower high, and then breaks down. You open your position right here at this point with a small stop loss. With a small stop loss and quick profit taking for now. Basically, we have a few more days left for a move, maybe about 7 days. Another week to go. Then we go for the next move. In the next trades, we get into the Christmas market. Around Christmas itself, things get a bit range-bound. Trading volume drops, so you should lower your trade size too and reduce your risk. Just keep an eye on the chart, because the first day these guys come back, they come back like animals. They haven't traded for a while and want to open positions fast. They want to open new financial accounts. They've been given a budget and they have to spend that budget. Because if they don't spend it, in the upcoming year, it's anticipated that they will be allocated a considerably smaller budget than what they have previously received. Therefore, it's absolutely crucial to remember and mark this significant event, as that is precisely when everything is scheduled to commence and unfold. You will need to diligently and continuously keep a very close eye on the developments, carefully observing the situation to determine if you receive a clear and actionable entry trigger, or if the conditions do not align as expected. All right. So that's for Bitcoin. Right now, we have its long position. That's why today and tomorrow, we also have its short position. So today and tomorrow, let's check out our higher time frames a bit and see what's going on in our daily and weekly charts. Guys, there's a key support zone. We have a really important level on the daily at 844 to 845. This support zone is crucial. If it's lost, it's a big deal. With the financial news that's come out for the US, it's not going to be easy. I mean, if the news had turned out differently, I would have said, okay, dropping into this lower box of ours is a sure thing. The bottom of our support zone, entering this box in the coming week, would be a given. But now, not so much. Right now, the bottom of our support zone is at 82,436.35. Not every fake out in this box means you should go in. Set a limit order. Every time the price faked out in this area, it bounced back up. It's an entry opportunity for futures and spot. And I'm not saying yet that this is for futures or spot, because this area is crowded and I want to draw some lines. Okay, let me draw 4 lines. I'm talking about its levels with you. Let's discuss it together. We have these 3 zones. For spot, what this means is that if it tests this box and breaks out upwards, that's a breakout. 97.65. Here we can go and buy Bitcoin on spot. I'm not talking about altcoins for now. First, I'll take a look at them. If it happens, I'll tell you, and I'll also explain the reasons. Let's focus on Bitcoin itself for now. For spot, if we want to buy, this box needs to be faked out and then move up. Here you can use trigger and breakout strategies as well. The bottom of this box, the lowest point that has formed a bottom for us, is somewhere around, say, 14 to 15%. You use it up to the price ceiling we have, take 2 resets, and then continue to take more resets after that. If we have an upward trend, even if you didn't do this, and for example, the day after tomorrow, the daily chart goes up, you just wait for confirmation here. You wait and you have to see what the price does at 106. That's your entry trigger. If that happens, for confirmation, it would be 106, provided that at this 106 level, we see some kind of reaction. It should give you a confirmation. After confirmation, the price shouldn't come back down here. For example, it shouldn't come and make a higher low and then try to break it again. For example, your confirmation might come below 100,000, but say above 97,000. That could be your entry trigger. Then, after that, you get another confirmation up to the previous all-time high, but you'll get a better risk to reward ratio. If you open this position now, first of all, if this happens, meaning if it hits 106, it's still a position, but it's not as significant as if we test this lower area. Why? Because we're testing this area here. Enough buyers come in here, it turns out to be a fake out. Buying volume comes in and we say the buyers have more strength, so it's a real struggle. They might not stay here, but when the price doesn't come down and new buyers don't join in. This area is a very important resistance. 106 is a really significant resistance, especially right around that 106 mark. I set an alarm. I definitely come to make a decision, no matter where I am or what situation I'm in. We came here hoping none of these things would happen. It came down, hit the buy zone, bounced, and then dropped to break 75. It turns out we didn't do anything at all, because as long as it doesn't fake out and break this level, or unless it goes up and breaks this top, we haven't bought anything in spot, so we don't have any position in spot during this move. If it comes down and, for example, breaks this 84 level, then it would be playing in that range. Futures positions. Do you have one? I mean, here you have a short position, and up to here you've secured your profit. Then if it wants to do something on the daily chart, if it does that, the market goes back into the low wave cycle again, only in the low wave cycle, and you open a position. You go to the 15-minute or 1-hour chart and open your positions there. Series of entry, series of profit taking, series. This is what we need to do. The 7.5 break. For now, it's very unlikely that it's going to break this 7.5 level. The market never moves in just one direction, guys. It doesn't just go straight down. So there's a chance that it comes back here again, reverses the trend, and we go back up. We might actually get a pullback and then start again from here. It's more likely than the market just breaking through 7.5 in one go. So don't open a short position right at the 7.5 break. You might say, but we don't know the future of the market, so we open a position and get stopped out. I mean, that's better. It's better than opening a futures position from 3, dropping to 5, then to 6, and getting stopped out. Because saying, no man, the chances here are low, isn't the way to go. Even if there's only a 5 or 10% chance of a breakout, this is one of the best short positions for this period. After these zones, the most important resistance levels we have are 53, and the next one is around 38 to 40. If we actually break this 75 level, we'll enter that same 4-year cycle where Bitcoin always follows its own bullish trend. So that's our drop. Now, I don't see it going lower than 51 or 40. For this drop, I see a maximum of about 66% decline. Honestly, after that, a new cycle will start again. Let's see what's going on, how life is, and whether we'll have a new bull run again. And what does this mean? It means if the 50-week breaks, that 4-year Bitcoin cycle would have stayed alive. And it still is. We really have to see whether this will happen or not. We need to see what happens in the world in 2026. Right now, a lot of capital is on pause. The big money in the world isn't doing anything, right? They're just sitting somewhere. They're just investing. Their money is just sitting there, like in bonds, or their money is just sitting in gold. They're only present in anti-inflationary assets, just waiting to see what happens. What are we waiting for? They're waiting for US elections, the war in Syria, the war between Russia and Ukraine, and even the possibility of a war between the US and Venezuela. They're waiting to see what China and the US will do. They're waiting to see if Japan's economy will go bankrupt or not. They're waiting to see what was that country that made chips? Taiwan. They're waiting to see what will happen with Taiwan. The world is really in a state of waiting. It's a place where anything could happen at any moment. And people, they're also waiting to see when this event will happen, and then they'll decide. Now, economic data does have an impact, but it's mostly global politics that's driving things. The outlook is affecting our markets too. For example, people are waiting and pausing. Even in our own country, it's the same. Should we go? Let's see. In this recent period, has any new startup launched? Has anyone made a new investment anywhere? Has anyone taken any steps at all? From what I can see right now, there are no new startups being launched, no one is fundraising, no one is taking money anywhere to fundraise, no one is acquiring any company, and no one is being acquired. Even Goldrang has shut down a company somewhere. Just look at how things are right now. So that's how it is. This is the overall situation. For this part to become clear, the world's politics also need to settle down a bit. Now, until global politics become clear, we keep working technically. Technical work always continues. That's so we can set some expectations for ourselves. Right now, without any expectations, technical analysis tells us everything. Who has a long position here? Who has a short position here? Who has a short position here? Who, at the top, there are 6 long positions. The move is upward, a pullback to the previous momentum, a fake long position at this level, and here, a short position. Technical analysis tells us all of this, and the time frame you and I are currently trading in as well. 400's a 15-minute level. Even the politics of our own house don't matter for these few charts, let alone world politics. On our weekly chart, any move this week could be our last move, meaning if we come here, then it ranges. If we come here, again, it ranges afterward. There's a high chance of this happening. It won't be a sustained move. A week later, we'll be ranging again. What about the monthly? If the monthly closes, after that, we always have a sharp daily range in January. Then it starts, this monthly candle doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference how it forms. That initial behavior after January is what matters. Now, I've talked about all of this, but just yesterday, right here, it gave you 4 or 5 times. Even today, it might come and play around, break this disbelief, and then give you another 3 or 4 times. Just because the percentage is low, look, the profit isn't small. Actually, with a smaller stop, you see more capital efficiency and you get that same risk to reward ratio. I told you this so you keep it in mind for yourself. In this environment and with these kinds of events, man, what condition is the total in? This isn't just about Bitcoin itself. If the total breaks this 3.1, its target will be 3.55, provided it moves sharply. If it moves slowly and we get to Christmas and it can't break 2.98, that's a trigger for a short entry. 2.824 is an important support. It shouldn't break 2.824. If it breaks 2.824, we'll see a drop. For this play, if it goes lower, the same goes for total 3. Total 3 also shouldn't break this 8.23 support. If it does, 7.92 becomes the next trigger. When it breaks 8.92, definitely have a long position there. Make sure you have that long position at that point on the 1-hour chart, specifically for this position. Right now, that's also the trend line. We've reached it, and now it's reacting again. It's a good trend line, a trigger for entry. You have 866 plan 8. When it breaks here, when it breaks this area, there's always an altcoin somewhere at some point. There is one that can give you a good long position. If it breaks below 850, then 90% of altcoins will give you a short position. What about this break? This bottom of total 2. Total 2 gets a lot of its weight from Ethereum, guys. Well, I'm telling you, it gets a lot of weight from the points. A long position at 1.24 is not a confirmation for Ethereum or the other altcoins. You really don't like the confirmation for a long here. It doesn't seem safe. It's not secure. At 1.27, I just want to tell you, don't be without a position at 1.3. For Bitcoin, 94, 223, 45, and don't be without a position. In futures, you should have a long position here. If this is about to break, use whatever method you know. Call it whatever you want. Even if you say it's a gut feeling or just intuition, just hit the buy button. Yes, you have a sub loss left, you have a term left, and you also have a risk, right? You have these, right? These things, they don't even talk about them at all, man. All right, let's check out Bitcoin dominance. For now, it's just ranging. This Bitcoin dominance kid is just ranging for now. Even on the higher time frames, it's the same, and on the weekly too. Basically, it doesn't have any levels. If we want to get a signal from it, look, its levels are so far apart that they don't really mean much. One is at 60-20, the other is at 55-65. It doesn't really mean anything. These are way too far for dominance. They're really far. Just this move from here to here. That's the move you're looking at. It shows 2.49%, and on the other side, it's about the same. So if you add them up, it becomes 5.9, 10, or 5.67. If this happens in a bullish market, altcoins rank below 50. For example, they could go up 100%, 70%, but only if a bull market actually happens. Well, honestly, these activities don't really mean much. Before this even happens, you'll see the signs in other coins, like Jafar, and in the other coins and indexes as well. So based on this dominance, what should we do? The same thing we've been doing for the past 20 days. You check each one. Like right now, Bitcoin is going up. Its daily dominance is also turning green. What is ETH BTC doing? In this situation, if it's not going up, it's also turning green. So if we wanted to open a long position, Ethereum would be a better option. Here, Bitcoin has shown a reaction once, and right here it showed another reaction to that level. So a long position on Ethereum with this 3,138 could be good. Great, actually. Why? Because on the higher time frame, there's almost nothing. Our breakout trigger is at 3,267. Why is it there? Where is that point where the price pulled back and died? It's at 3,260, so that's our breakout trigger here. Okay? This is how we need to check. Dominance of Bitcoin is also showing 3 green candles at 4 levels. Bitcoin itself is also printing a couple of green candles. Now let's see, does BTCD have any idea? What's it doing here? Right now it's showing a bit of strength toward Bitcoin. BTC.D is also just in a small range, so you don't even need to open the USDT.D chart to check it, because it's not going to surprise you or anything like that. So is this 4141 level any good? No, it's not good. The price isn't coming into it for now. It wants to, but the Bitcoin dominance is showing red. Bitcoin itself is green, so you're kind of forced. Check everything, because if BTC had shown green in Finland, or if you had set an alert, in the end, it would have been for your own benefit. That's it, bro. We're still on the decline, we're still dropping, meaning we're not buying anything. We're not buying altcoins. We're really staying away from anything speculative. It's better to open a futures position, but we're not acting impulsively. Like, don't go saying, hey man, give me 2 kilos of TRX, 300 grams of SOL, 50 grams of Link. This is like a discount code, but just because the market's on sale, we don't do stuff like that. As long as it's like this, as long as the trend is like this, we're not getting in. And only when it breaks 7.53 will we even consider coming in. Do we think these events, this movement up to this point, won't make some altcoins give a lot of profit? Why not? Should we go for futures? We don't go for their spot. We don't get involved with them in spot. But in futures, you can get an entry signal. We go and open its position. The guys who say, man, we're not into futures, we're only into spot. I swear, there's no difference between futures and spot. In both, you have to manage your capital. In both, you have to. Set a stop loss. Using futures lets you commit less capital, so less of your money is at risk, and you keep less money in the exchange. God forbid if something ever happens to the exchange one day, you'll lose less money. The only thing about futures is that you have to manage your capital, you have to manage your risk, and you have to set a stop loss so you don't get liquidated. I mean, even in spot trading, if you buy a coin and it drops 80%, it's not much different from getting liquidated. So all that talk about futures or this and that, Just forget it. That's a wrong belief. Change that mindset. Seriously. All this time I've been trading here, I've seen something in futures. That's why I trade futures. I don't trade spot. Plus, I have access to a two-way market, and I tie up less capital. And it really doesn't matter. Over there in spot, your leverage is 1. Here, your leverage is 10. It makes no difference. When the mode is from the city, the mode is illustrative. It's stable illustrative. All right, let's move on to USDT. Let's check out its time frames or whatever. Let's see what's up. On the weekly chart, we're dealing with an important resistance in USDT here. This is exactly the spot I'm talking about. If it loses this level, if Bitcoin loses that bottom, we'll head into that 4-year Bitcoin cycle. For example, USDT would then target 8.28. Even here, it could set the bottom for Bitcoin for us in the future. So let's keep that in mind too. The future bottom for Bitcoin could be determined with this 8.28 level. It could come out as the top of this range box. This is a trend change. The good thing here is, as you can see, we could go down to the bottom of this box. Coming down to the bottom of this box is based on Bitcoin dominance. It's equal to testing the previous top, equal to making a new top, and based on dominance, it means it's the same behavior. And on the daily chart, it broke. 5.883. For me to come here, open a futures position, and hold it, this is a really good confirmation, right? We're looking for some things on the 4-hour chart, but this 5.865 is a key point on the daily. Now, I haven't mentioned the exact number for the daily chart yet. 5.930, 5.872. On the 4-hour, you broke 5.852, the place where, in a long position, you should have a stop before the breakout, if you want to be here at all. If you open it late, your stop size gets bigger. You won't get a good risk reward, even though the move could be sharp and big. There's also a chance you'll get stopped out here. So just accept from now that, hey, this is the spot for a long position if I want to take it. If you open it, you're likely to get stopped out. And it's very possible that after getting stopped, the long won't even get triggered. It might just come back and go up again. So just accept this with yourself. It's important to come to terms with it, that sometimes it just doesn't go your way. That's why right now and for this position, below 6,108 is a better spot for a long position. For a short position, there's no US dollars trigger for now. The coins themselves give better triggers. For example, level enjoyed beat is better. Instead of looking for a USDT trigger, the USDT trigger is in the important box. The rejection happens from there, and that's where the move starts. Why can't you find it? Oh, my friend. This is an important box. This is an important spot. This is not a place to get frustrated because you really need to be sharp here. Both the rejection and the breakout are positions. Both are good positions. Both are high quality positions. Both are really good opportunities. In futures, maybe you want the market to go up. Maybe you want the market to be in your favor. For now, just focus on catching the upward move. To get confirmation, we don't really have a very specific level for that box either. Guys, honestly, we don't have any specific level on the daily chart. That's the level where things actually happen. It's really about that moment. It's really about that momentum. That's why more than anything else, instead of getting caught up in a setup for a market short, you end up getting caught up with Bitcoin and its dominance. That's it for Bitcoin for now. We know where to open a long position and we know where to open a short position. We know where to take profits and we know where to hold a position in this analysis. We even know how to react if we see a box. I even gave an example of it today, and yesterday we opened its position. In the low wave cycle, we quickly take profits on small moves. Even for next week, which scenario is more likely? That we make a small move this week and then start this move until all the adjustments are done? Right now, we're fully aware and we know. Okay, so for a 3 or 4 week time frame, we have this analysis. Anytime you have a question, you can go back to the course and I'll bring it up. Let's look at these analyses, okay, before we move on. Now, before I analyze the 10 coins, first let me do the analysis. I'll analyze those daily and weekly for you, and if I see at any point that it's giving an entry signal right now, I'll go for it. Even if the time frame drops, it could be 5 minutes, 6 minutes, or 10 minutes. Let's have a chat together, okay? I want to get ready for a few days. I might go on a trip, for example, for 2 weeks. Or maybe it'll just be 3 days for me. We'll see.